So the build that we're looking at here, this is what I plan to play in Delve League. I can sign up in 20 minutes, 15 minutes or so, and then the league starts in about 45 minutes from now. So I plan on pushing for a demi. Demis are awarded by depth, not by character level. So it's kind of weird that it's not by XP, but it should be a good time anyways. So I will be going ZHP at some point, but this is the first tree that I'm going to show you. So this is a spell miner as a trickster, and we can talk about the ascendancy in a moment. And this original POB was handed to me by Mothra Elite, so God bless him for sharing his big brain with me. His idea for the Delve event was to go EK Mines, and I kind of played around with EK Mines as a life-based normal build as a Deadeye about a month ago or so. And the single target was a little bit lackluster. The build was pretty sweet. I used the unique jewel for it as well to make it fire to Nova. It was really cool, but I don't know, something about like the relative lack of single target damage, even though it was like a normal life-based build. I don't know, kind of threw me off. I was playing a EK Miner Deadeye in an SSF league, which meant that my gear was kind of bad. There's a chat command right now if you want to type in !EK. You can see what my ideas for how to build that character in a trade league and like how to amp up the damage to get it like much more respectable. Still as a fizz-based build, what those ideas were. If you want to take it and like convert to cold, shatter stuff, yeah, that'd be great too. But I'm going to take the ideas, the build ideas for Mothra here, which are basically like charge stacking from Swift Killer as well, +1 max frenzy and power charge. Use that with charge mines, which I think is a really important support time to use in a non-saboteur miner. We're going to go Weave the Arcane to solve our mana problems. This is twice as good as the Essence of Insanity Amulet modifier. And then we'll get some extra dodge, some extra movement speed from this. And then we're going to use that to juice up Glacial Cascade. We're going to start with Glacial Cascade, and then we're going to transition over to Purifying Flame later. So for Glacial Cascade, it seems like many people who have played GC in the past month, 2 months, 3 months, it seems like a lot of people did not enjoy Glacial Cascade because they weren't speccing heavily into AoE. So I'm going to go out of my way and try to grab a bunch of AoE with Blast Waves and a bunch of AoE with Arcane Expanse. Even though this is kind of middling, it still has AoE, it still has spell damage on it, so I'm still going to grab it. The people that I know that have been playing Glacial Cascade, I think, was it Manny? I don't know if it was Manny, it might have been somebody else. We're playing Glacial Cascade, and then Katzen was also playing Glacial Cascade Mines. And those two people seem to have a much higher opinion of GC than other folks did. So I think the big difference is like those two people considerably invested more into area of effects, and they had like huge AoE compared to the people who didn't like Glacial Cascade starting at the beginning of Heist League because they weren't investing so much into area of effect. So I'm gonna take a lesson from them, grab some AoE nodes, and hope that it's good enough. So we're gonna play Glacial Cascade first because it's Fizz fully converted to cold damage, try to get some shatters going on as well. And then later on, once we find some Rim Sorrow gloves, which are 50% Fizz converted to cold damage, we'll swap over to playing Purifying Flame instead. Whether my 6th link is going to be Swift Assembly or Inspiration, I'm not sure about that. I'm using Inspiration more as a way to estimate my damage, because Swift Assembly is a chance to throw additional mines, and you can see that it's not impacted in the average hit or the combined total DPS here. So those numbers don't change, so I needed to swap in something else instead to kind of get an idea of how much damage might I be doing. I think the most important part here, when we're talking about a saboteur that is not, or sorry, a miner that is not a saboteur, I think everybody should be using charged mines. I think charged mines is a very, very good support gem. I feel as strongly about this as I do about using charged traps on any trapper. I think charged traps is amazing, and charged mines, especially on non-saboteurs, is great. Even on saboteurs, this thing's messed up. High impact mine over blast chain mine because I don't like having damage penalties. I think high impact mine is basically just better for all scenarios. We'll have trap mine damage as well, and then damage for the rest of it. What else can we talk about here? The original build that Mothra handed to me was going to be EK. So it was EK, high impact mine, charge mines with a bunch of support gems on it. And then the idea would be to use Herald of Purity, use War Banner, which is nearby enemies take increased physical damage. Nearby, whatever, but it still gives you adrenaline, and adrenaline is increased, 100% increased damage. It's still good. And then Skitterbots. Every miner should have Skitterbots. Skitterbots great. And then for cooldowns, Cooldowns would be like, so your single target would be like snap or a sniper's mark. Val RF, just toss a bunch of Val orbs onto your Righteous Fire gem and hope that one of them hits Val. Bear Trap and increased duration. And then using Vortex plus Arcane Surge on your left click or just on spacebar or something like that. And the idea here is just that like while you're off screening stuff in a ZHP scenario, you can still make sure that you have Arcane Surge up all the time because Vortex is instant cast and does not interfere with you DPSing, stuff like that. So this is what I'm going to try. Is there anything much to talk about in the skill tree? The pre-ZHP skill tree, paths are on the outside. We grab a couple life nodes, couple life nodes, couple life nodes, and then like some ES. We have about 1800 ES, 4000 life, just enough to scrape by. As we swap to ZHP, it's going to look something more like this. We're going to have some extra AoE. We'll drop the defensive nodes. We'll drop all sources of life. And then because I'm going to go Purifying Flame, we'll grab a little bit of stuff over here. And then, what else are we going to need? Not too much. Not too much. If you were trying to take this skill tree and go for a Brutality setup, like Brutality EK Mines, if you still wanted to go like that, I think an option that you could do would be trim this stuff here, because obviously this elemental doesn't help you. Then trim these nodes as well. And you could grab nodes like this. These are relatively good nodes. Even Master of Force is kind of okay. Otherwise, you could come down here for Heartseeker. You can grab another Frenzy Charge. You can even use a 1-pointer for Acrobatics just to make your life 30% easier than it would be otherwise. I think that's just about what you would have for options. If you were EK, you'd want some source of Pierce. So having just like these 2 points, for example, projectiles pierce an additional target. I think as an EK miner, this is probably something that you want to consider once you make your ZHP swap, or honestly, even perhaps before you make your ZHP swap. But I'm not going to be going down here. I'm just going to hope not to get hit real hard as soon as I respec to ZHP. The rest of this should be pretty straightforward. Let's see, this is a level 92 skill tree that we're currently looking at. Bunch of power charges, bunch of frenzy charges, because we're using charged mines to make sure that those are always up. I'll be starting with starting gear with the weapon that gives you +1 frenzy charge with some extra AoE. That is perfect for my Glacial Cascade, and the frenzy charge works with what's it called? Charge mines. We'll be generating those the entire time. What am I going to level up with before I get to like level 28 and stuff like that? I don't know. It's something. We'll see. But this is what I plan on playing. We'll see how it goes. We just snagged our Demi in SSF Softcore Mayhem. So we got rank 4 there as a Guardian using Syndicate Operatives. It was a good push all the way to the end. I even woke up early to make sure that nobody stayed up all night pushing to snag my spot from me. So I had to wake up early, check the ladder, and then go back to sleep. It's kind of funny. So, no, rank 4 is good. All I want is the shiny sword. That's all I want. All right, so this is what I'm doing. This POB will be in chat. You can type in !build if you want to see what I'm doing for Delve and Mayhem and the 3-week event after that. And again, shout out to Mothra for sharing the big brain ideas with me. I think Trickster is going to be a sweet ascendancy for mines. After having played a Deadeye and running into the mana issues and really wanting an Essence of Insanity amulet, I think Weave the Arcane, this thing's sweet. It solves all of your mana issues. And it even encourages you to get even more throwing speed because you can sustain that throwing speed by throwing mines as fast as flipping possible. Our mine throwing speed currently is at 0.12 seconds, which is quite fast. All right, wish me luck. Chat, good luck for you as well. And then we'll see you next time.